Hello, dear adventurers, and welcome to another Needlessly Complicated 14. My name's Aerietta, and we are continuing our all jobs, all quests challenge run of Final Fantasy 14, where we do everything basically as soon as it's made available to us, whether it is locked behind other content or behind levels. So today it's going to be getting our last three jobs, blacksmith, armorer, and culinarian, to level 40 so that we can start all of our level 40 job quests. How many do we have? So if we go over, we have 2 tanks, 2 healers, one of which also is a magical range DPS because they share experience, an additional magical range DPS, a physical range DPS, and 3 melee DPS. So that is 4, 5, 6, 9, plus 3 Disciples of the Land, so that's 12. And for Disciples of the Hand, that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We have 20 jobs. You would think that I would know this by now, considering how much we've done this, but it is what it is. It is what it is. My brain is often a mess. So we're going to continue on with that chaos. Gonna hop right into the game. And yep, so currently we are on Culinarian. And like I said, we need to get Blacksmith, Armorer, and Culinarian to level 40 before we continue our level 40 job quests, because we can't accept those quests until all of our jobs are level 40. Well, we can't accept those 3 in particular. Anyways, that's right, we don't need to actually go in there. We can go to duty timers. If I can click it. Okay. So we need to make a plumed mithril pickaxe, mithril sabatons, and ratatouille. We have 2 ratatouille already, but you make them in groups of 3, so whatever. Do we have all the ingredients we need? We need wizard eggplant, ramhorn zucchini, laurel, lavender oil, and garlic in order to make it. Let's see if we have any of those in our storage systems. Okay. Search for item. I am totally aware of my surroundings. That is a thing that I am. Most certainly. So we need wizard eggplant, and we need 1 of them. And unfortunately, this is not a thing, and it doesn't have a shop selling price, so it has to either be gathered or market board. The supply and provisioning missions roll over at 2 p.m. my time, which makes it so that I absolutely have to go and look them up while streaming. I can't do it in advance. Okay, so that's ramhorn zucchini, 2 of which we have in our saddlebags. Okay. We have the ruby tomato. Laurel is also in the saddlebags. Lavender oil is in saddlebags. And garlic is in saddlebags. So the only thing we need for culinarian is the wizard eggplant. I'm going to very quickly grab those from the saddlebags before I forget what they are, except that I already have. Ramhorn zucchini, garlic, laurel, lavender oil. Was there another one? I wrote down everything except the things that I needed. That's fine. Yes, I grabbed them all except for the wizard eggplant. Good. So, what about this plumed mithril pickaxe? Hi, Claire. Welcome in. I hope that you are also having a good day. if you have not done so yet, please do give Claire a follow. On Wednesdays when she is not sick, she plays a renegade run of Mass Effect 2 and also plays Sims 4 doing the decorating, as well as Genshin Impact and a few other games. But let me also give you the other shout out so that people can very easily just click. There we are. When you don't have a gnarly cough, exactly. It sucks. Everyone seems to be sick and I hate it. I don't like for people to be sick because it's just miserable and I wouldn't wish that on other people. Well, most other people. I'm kidding. Okay, so we need a mithril ingot, and this is for blacksmith. Can't even do camless streams when you have a cough. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Seki. Hello, I gotta leave soon to go to an event tonight, but I wanted to pop in for a bit. Well, thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. I hope that you are doing well and that you have exciting things to do. Okay, so we need 1 mithril ingot, and Nikki has decided to visit me for the second stream in a row, which is hilarious because she's been ignoring me while I've been streaming for like months now. But here she is, again, trying to lick my toes through my socks. What a weirdo. Yes, it will be Robert Burns celebration once a year. I don't know anything about that, but I hope it's enjoyable. Yeah, not the toe licking. Yeah, Nikki is a little weirdo. She's a very weird cat. I think it mostly has to do with the fact that I currently have my little feet on top of the heating pad that she has decided is hers. She's decided it's hers. Like a weirdo. And yeah. So she's trying to remove my feet from her heating pad. What she doesn't yet know is that soon it actually will be hers, because I discovered last night the magical fact that there are such things as heated throw blankets. Now, hear me out. I grew up with and let me English for a quick second. I grew up with an electric blanket, like from childhood. I recently found out that in colder climates, you also have a layer that goes under your sheets so that you have an electric blanket on top and bottom, which sounds delightful because I am constantly running cold unless it's 1,000,000 degrees because I live in a desert. And like, I knew about heating pads, but I just found out that there are electric throw blankets that you can just have and not have to remove it from your bed because they're incredibly expensive things to own. Just for funsies, if you ever haven't. But like, yeah, so they were on sale on one of the stores, and I decided, you know what? I'm getting 2. So those are supposed to be coming in sometime in the next like 3 weeks. Shipping is awful, but rather shipping times are awful, but I'm not going to complain if it keeps me warm through February, which is the wettest time of the year. Nikki, please stop trying to chew on my foot, you weird cat. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up on chat real quick. Seki says he was a super famous Scottish bard and basically one of their folklore heroes. He wrote lots of poetry and such. Oh, neat. And she also says, I never owned an electric blanket. The idea kind of scares me. So here's the thing. There are a ton of safety precautions that are now built in and required of electric blankets, specifically because, like, they used to be kind of dangerous, but, like, they have to go through so many safety regulations now that I really don't, I haven't heard of any issues. Like, the one thing that you just don't want to do is have the wires directly touching your skin. And you also want to make sure, I'm pretty sure all of them now have a safety shutoff where after a certain number of hours it will automatically shut off. But yeah, the worst that it ever got for me was when I was a little kid. I would turn it all the way up because I was freezing cold every time I got into bed. I'm still that way as an adult. I will get into bed and I am just so cold that I cannot sleep. Even in summer, it's awful. So I would turn it up to 10, and then I would finally fall asleep once I warmed up because I wanted to warm up as fast as possible. And it would be on 10, and I would wake up at 2 in the morning just sweating. So there are safety shutoffs now, both to keep it from being an issue for, like, safety, as well as to keep you from, like, sweating. Seki says, you know how fast I fall asleep on the chair with a regular blanket. Imagine a heated one. You also wear shorts year-round, so, like, I don't know. Maybe this isn't a thing for you. You don't seem to feel temperature like I do. Claire says, I had one and it broke. Oh, no. I am so excited. And I am going to be the coziest, and I am looking forward to that, but, yeah, I hope you're able to get a replacement because it's something that I am just very excited for. Yeah, I really want that coziness, and I'm just like, I can be warm and toasty without having to keep moving my heating pad to different parts of my body. I can just have it all at once. Nikki, you can have the heating pad. Except that I am also spoiling my cat Rotten as well. She is going to be getting her own... It's not an electrically heated one, but it is a pet bed that has a heat reflective layer to it underneath the soft and fuzzies, but because she likes to chew soft and fuzzy things, which is why we've had to lock away 2 of her previous beds, I am going to have to sew a cover over the top of it that's not fuzzy so she doesn't try to eat it because she is weird. But yeah, she is getting her own cozy, heat-reflecting bed, and they were out of the normal cat-sized ones. So she is getting a full, like, large dog crate-sized bed all to herself. She's going to be so delighted. And it's probably going to take her 2 months to figure out what the hell it does, because it's taken her that long to figure out what the heating pad does, too. It's fine. I also haven't told you guys. I know, this is a ridiculous screen for me to have story time going on. I didn't tell you guys about what happened earlier. So, the scariest thing to have happen, or at least the scariest thing recently to have happen in my own home, is to pull aside the shower curtain to get out of the shower, only to have a pair of yellow eyes staring back at you. Just at eye level, staring back at you into your soul while you are stepping out of the shower. You've just got the shower curtain to one side, and you look up, and there's these bright yellow eyes staring into your soul while you are entirely naked and still haven't even grabbed your towel after a shower. Nikki was sitting on the corner of the countertop, with her little toes sticking over the edge like a freaking gargoyle. God, it scared the crap out of me. Anyways, that's been my minor heart attack lately. Let's get back to what I was doing. I didn't have the linen, so I need to... That's not what I wanted. I wanted the crafting method, not the gathering one. Yeah, exactly, Claire. Nikki is just being a little jerk. Okay, so we need 1 undyed linen, and we have the yarn for it. Just 1 undyed linen, right? Yeah. I cannot spell even in my own notes. Okay, close enough. Oak lumber. We have 23 in our saddlebag. Okay, cool. So I'm going to pull that to the forefront. Where's one that says 23? That's my inventory, not my chocobo bag. There it is. Sort. Okay. Anyways, as you might have noticed, Nikki's personality is shining full throttle lately, and oh man, she's very a lot. Okay, so this requires 2 mithril plates, which I'm almost positive I do not have. Yeah. So 2 mithril plates. My partner is a huge nerd. We've already established this. But every time the word mithril is used, and like it's such a common thing in all fantasy genres that we just call it mithril. Just like no special tone or any of that. Like it is an established pronunciation to just say mithril. Every single time he has to get this little like face. I don't even know how to describe it, but he like scrunches up his face, and every time he says it, regardless of context, he just very like secretively like gets up close and whispers mithril and like rolls the R, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Please stop. Please don't do this to me. I haven't had enough coffee. All right, so this requires 2 mithril ingots that I have to craft, and I don't have enough ore. Craft. I need an additional plus. It's +6 minus 2 is 4 in order to get enough for that. Okay. So we also need mithril rings, which we don't have, and we need to craft them, and we need 1 mithril ingot. Okay, so 1 mithril rings, because we only needed 1, not 2, and we need 1 mithril ingot, which we need to craft, and we need +3 additional mithril what have yous. You know the ones. Or, that's the word. Boar leather. How do we not? Seki says I tend to overcraft mats like ingots and have my poor retainers haul it all. It's an opposite issue. See, that's typically what I do. The problem that I'm running into... Oh, and we have this. Okay, so we can just... How many boar leather was it? I think it was only 1. Yeah. 1 boar leather to craft. Okay. So, I typically have that issue as well, but of because of this particular playthrough and having, you know, this as a constant issue, I have to go through and sort and move things around and get rid of my inventory all the time. So I have come to accept the fact that in order to make this happen, I need to just get rid of as much as humanly possible. I can always make more. That's not something you can say outside of video games, but like in this one, I can always make more. I can always find more. If it comes down to having to go and gather the materials, I can do that. Do I want to? Probably not, but it is a thing I can do. Seki says, when I was leveling all my crafters, I was always at like a 135 out of 40 slots in my bags. Yes, me too. Even when I was leveling only one crafting job at a time. Okay, so we need a wizard eggplant. Okay. I don't want to add it to wish list. I want to click it. Oh, that's a lot of them. To heck with it. We can sell them all later. Okay. So we have that one. Okay, so I need 7 more mithril ore. We're just gonna grab this one and call it done. Who knows, we might need more of it later. Okay, so we have the ore that we need to make the mithril ingots. We have the material we need for the undyed linen, and we have the material we need for the boar leather. Okay. So, now is the part where we go off to one side as not to... Actually, that's a really... It's a cute glam. Or is it? Yeah, Palaka vest of healing. What are the pants? Ovum wool skirt of healing. That's a cute glam. And I like the color quite a bit as well. Anyways, distraction. Oh, that's right. We have to listen to these things. I for the sake of my own health, is it under character? Item, UI, display name, hotbar, log window? No, it's going to be under system configuration, sound, master volume, sound effects. We're just gonna turn those off because I can't handle it right now. We'll get back to that later. But I can't handle the sounds for making the things. It's just not in my best interest today to let that happen. Someone's having a good time just being a naked ninja in the background. Hi, Neki. You did not miss the killer jobs again. We have only just started and we are currently just working on getting our last 3 crafting jobs. Those are the words. Last 3 crafting jobs to level 40. Okay, so we have culinary and maid, so let's real quick switch over to leather worker. How are you today, Neki? Okay, so we need boar leather. It's not there. Oh, it is. It's at the very top. Unless you mean you make a killer streak as a culinarian. Yeah, that's not happening. It's fine. Culinarian is ridiculous. Like, It requires so many different materials just to make one dish, and it is all across the board. Like, you can think you're fine and be totally wrong. Okay. I make a mean omelet. It hurt my feelings. Seki, you might actually kill me. Stop that. Okay, so we have a circle of boar leather. Now we need to make the undyed linen. Under weaver. Sorry, I just actually got to go now, so I had to pun it up a bit extra. Enjoy the day. You as well. I hope you enjoy the Scottish Poet Celebration. Sounds like fun. We do also have an ad starting in about a minute. I am just going to, again, let these run while I'm doing crafting stuff because it's mostly the same thing over and over again. So when we get into content that involves story, I will most certainly be making sure to time ads appropriately. It's weird not having the sound effects, but like I prefer it because it's not making my skin crawl. It's just that there's also no feedback, which is worrying. Okay, so let's see. Our blacksmith is actually needing more EXP than armor. Not that it really matters because both of them are going to level up pretty quickly. But we need 1, 2, 3, 4 mithril ingots. Okay. Yeah, it's so weird not having the sound, but it's fine. I will deal with it. Oof. We might not be able to get high quality on this. Okay. I can do one more of these. And then I gotta do this. Okay. Just a regular ingot. Okay. Since we're not gonna be able to get high quality just because of how much that's going to require, I am instead going to just quick synthesize, which is something that I typically don't do. Actually, I am not because I need the EXP. And each action grants you experience. Okay. Do I have enough? I have enough. Two. And that's 3. Still not getting that high quality, which is a bummer. But yeah, to make a quality mithril ingot is apparently difficult as heck. Probably requires better gear and materia. Oh! Or just really good luck. We got 1 high quality mithril ingot. Alright, so we can check all of those off. We'll use the high quality mithril ingot for blacksmith, which I think we can do now. That was a plumed mithril pickaxe. Yes. All right, and we should be back from ads. So I think in future I'm not going to mute the sound effects entirely, but I am going to make sure that I do have them at a lower volume. Yeah, I have plenty of room. I can do this at 100%. Okay. Perfect. All right, and now we switch over to armor. Okay, to start with, we need to make 2 mithril plates. I did not make enough mithril ingots. Boo! Alright, we need 2 more mithril ingots, I think. Nikki, what on earth are you doing? I'm just unable to craft current class, not blacksmith. Oh, right, okay. I haven't made it on armor before, I guess. Oh, jeez. Alright, and then we can do 1 more of these. And then we do this. And we do this. Perfect. And now we will quick synthesize 1. Perfect. Okay. So now we go back to mithril plate. And we make 2 of those. Yeesh. This is really unforgiving for durability for mithril materials. Okay, and there's 1. And 2. Well, 2 shortly. There. Dun, dun, dun. Well, armor is now level 40. I'm still going to do the turn-in for this. Because, I mean, we've already made it this far. Also, yes, I win the game, Neki. Aerietta bot is giving us a friendly reminder to take a sip of water because hydration is an important part of every adventure. Okay, the mithril rings isn't nearly as bad to improve quality at the sake of durability. Like, it's still not great, but it's not nearly as bad. And we got high quality anyway, perfect. So now we make the mithril sabatons. That's close enough. I'm gonna be really mad if I needed that last 4%, though. Did not. Perfect. Alright, now we can turn those in and then start gathering all of our quests. Aft Castle. It's so quiet without the sound effects. My goodness. Okay. Supply and provisioning missions. We are going to give you some of our ratatouille, not all of it. Neki says I tried to be a culinarian once, but the amount of different ingredients. Absolutely. There is a lot. Just so incredibly much. And some of them you can only buy, whereas others you have to gather or buy off of the market board. And oh my god, armor is level 43. Whoops. Okay, so armor is now our highest level job. I expect that we will be taking on Garuda on that job instead. Okay, so since we're already on armor, I'm going, and already at the closest Aethernet, I am going to turn these sound effects back on, but also bring them down in volume. And we're going to head over to Naldeacon Vimeli's. Garuda should tremble in fear. Absolutely. I'm just going to keep making more and more hammers to throw at her. So yes, for quite a while now, we're just going to be doing story time. I'm not going to bother actually doing the quests until it comes to that point. We're just going to be listening to all of the story and hoping that my throat doesn't completely wreck itself reading all of this out loud. I hope you're feeling competitive, Aerietta. I missed all that because I accidentally bumped my mouse. There it is. Okay. I hope you're feeling competitive, Aerietta, for Blandsteer has submitted a formal challenge. It seems he means to recover the pride you cost him with your previous victory. He is an overgrown, sulky child who sees his fellow colleagues as not more than rivals. In his tiny world, all that matters is who is the best, who is the brightest, and who is the most able to provide immediate value to the guild. Now, I would be lying if I said I did not also take such factors into account. You well know my demand for excellence, but the methods that we take to reach it differ vastly. Blandsteer would run a guild of exclusion, one in which an adventurer like yourself would have been unwelcome. The lack of sense in that is clear. He may be well my equal in skill and technique, but it is his narrow perspective that weighed the balance against him in our contest for the Guildmaster's chair. I won and he lost. That simple fact plays an enormous role in the enmity that now lies between us, and I'm certain that past defeat is no small part of what fuels Blandsteer's present desire to prove himself your better. I regret that this ridiculous feud has drawn you into its bitter maw, but if it means seeing that stubborn old dodo put in his place, then I'm just childish enough myself to encourage you to accept. Blandsteer awaits you at his usual haunt. Go to him and show you've the steel to pick up the gauntlet he's thrown down. Neki asks, which DC server is this on? This is the Crystal Data Center, and I am on Brynhilder. It was one of the few that I didn't already have an alt on in this data center. I've just had about enough of Hananza's coddling ways. She's raising a generation of slackjaws and what look like armorers, but ain't fit to wipe the soot from a proper craftsman's backside. Before you know it, folk will start losing trust in the trade itself. Years of pride and tradition are crumbling to dust around our feet. Of course, ever since you bested me in our little competition, me words don't carry the weight they once did. Seems like I've got to take you down a few pegs before I can start putting things aright. Aye, the world needs to know that old Blandseer's not to be beaten by one of Hananza's lot, even if it were her prize pup. We'll settle this the old-fashioned way, a 3-round contest of skill. There ain't no point in dragging this out, so let's get straight to the challenge for the first round. The finest mithril curious you can forge. Since I'll be choosing the tasks, we'll have the appraisal of our work on your precious forge master. I'll be taking me armor to her directly. Once you've shown Hananza your own curious and heard her decision, you bring the piece to me so as I can see it for myself. Okay, then. You were busy bullying Hato. It is the Crystal Data Center on Brynhilder. Let me just put it in chat. Is the burb being a nuisance? Okay, so now we are on Blacksmith to get this quest. You know, Aerietta, the contracts you've helped the guild secure ought to make us a fortune, if we can find the hands to keep up with demand, that is. And quite a name you've made for yourself in the process. You've got your head in the forge, so you don't hear what I do. All over the ports I hear chatter of sailors and merchants extolling the fabled wares of Arietta's forge. And I assure you, they ain't alone. Hells, it's gotten to the point where half your fellow smithies are asking that you forge their smithing tools, as if you've time to make them one by one. So I've told them the most they could hope for would be one wrapped crow's beak hammer. Okay, that's a mouthful right there. A true example of shining excellence to which all of its kind would be held. What do you say, lass? Reckon you can do your forge mates this favor? Sure. You're on Primal, and yeah, you can visit. I would be happy to see your Final Fantasy character. I don't think I've seen them before. Okay, so now we are going to get on Culinarian. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people are on Primal. And I don't know, I honestly don't know what the decision-making factors were involved for who picked what data center. I just picked the one that my in-real-life friends were on. It's less real life. My offline friends. That's a more appropriate term. Oi, Aerietta, you're just the lass I was looking for. What do you say? What is to say you be the lass what Letitia is looking for? She's in need of some practice hands, and you've got the only one she'll trust. What side's mine, of course, but I've got my own matters to attend to. Take fair warning, though, Aerietta. The better you get, the more others will turn to you. 'Tis a fine feeling being relied upon, but it can be a right pain in the arse, too. Any road. Enough of me prattle. Now run along and find out what Letitia wants. Yes, Claire, you are real. Neki says same, followed a friend. And then no Claire. Claire is real too. We see her lovely face on the stream once a week when she isn't sick. There's a caveat to that. But yeah, my offline friends, my friends that I've met in person and whatnot, they are the ones who were on the Crystal Data Center, so that is the one that I ended up on. And it's also why I have my main on Diablos. I mind you, I'd heard nothing about the reputation of these places before joining, but it is my well-worn practice to immediately turn off the shout and yell chats of every MMO as soon as I log in for the first time. So I didn't hear about the reputation of Diablos until much later. Because it wasn't on my screen, quite literally. My thanks for agreeing to help, Aerietta. Now, I will tell you the details of your task, but I must ask that you keep it in the utmost confidence. The Admiral is scheduled to host an afternoon tea for visiting dignitaries, and the Bismarck has been called upon to provide the repasts and refreshments. I've been charged with conceiving the menu and require help making a few sample dishes. I would be grateful if you could prepare a blood currant tarts, a serving of pastry fish, and a cup of chamomile tea, all of the finest quality. As a woman of the sea, the Admiral drinks the liquor like most folk drink water, but the same cannot be said of her guests. Hence the afternoon tea, as opposed to, say, a dinner banquet. Alas, we know little and less of their taste besides that, so I am forced to consider a wide variety of options. It has proven to be quite a task, but with your help I am confident we can serve up a menu to please. Okay, and now we hop on Scholar, which hasn't seen the light of day in a very long time because I don't know what to do with this job. It's fine. I will learn it eventually. I hope. I don't know why I didn't use the Aethernet, but this is my life now. We're just gonna keep running. And running. And running some more. Gotta get in that exercise somehow. Not like being an adventurer is a sedentary job, but you know. Expectations of moving a lot. I mean, it does help your back, I guess. How curious that you always come at the most opportune time, Aerietta. 'Tis divine providence, almost. Doubly so since we have both been blessed with the chance to refine our respective arts. You see, in your absence, I have been studying a section of the Nemean treatise detailing marauder fighting techniques. The fundamentals do not differ much from modern methods, but there are slight variations in footwork and grip, as well as the distinctions between the various ranges, and the attacks best employed when... Forgive me, I lost sight of more pertinent points. Nemean scholars and marauders fought side by side, yes? Well, now you and I have the opportunity to do the same. A Tonberry has been spotted in Bronze Lake, and the Marauders Guild has been asked to dispatch it. Since Tonberries dwell within the Wanderer's Palace, an ancient Nemean temple, recently discovered in the wake of the Calamity, there is a strong possibility that the creatures have resided there since before the fall of Nim. Do you follow my reasoning, Aerietta? These malevolent creatures may have overrun the temple and claimed it for their own at the height of the Nemean civilization. They may have posed a major threat to the ancient people, even. If so, then surely facing one in battle would rekindle the memories of your fairy. Even if I am mistaken, the Tonberries pose a threat to the locals. Moreover, I would very much like to put my newly learned Nemean techniques to the test. So, we will rendezvous outside Wanderer's Palace, yes? Just summon the fairy, they do the healing job for you. Okay, yes, and that is part of the reason why I really want to learn Scholar, because the fairy makes my job literally that much easier. But do you see all of these buttons? What the hickety heck do these do? Okay, so where are the rest of our job teachers? I don't remember. Okay, so Fisher is downstairs. That much I do know. Gotta get our fishing job. Fisherman's Guild. There it is. Oof. I'm going to redeem a stretch because... ouchie my back. So if you would like to join me, I'm gonna stretch up and to the left and to the right and up again and back and up again and relax. Okay. Neki says, read the tooltips and remove things that sound less useless, less overwhelming with less buttons. You make a very good point. I just don't take a whole lot of time to read the tooltips in between streams, which is my predominant problem. I actually have a Lalafell that I specifically got Scholar on to learn the job, except that I don't play that Lalafell very often. So, and I specifically made it so that I don't have a summoner on that character so that I am forced to use Scholar, but again, I haven't played it because I haven't had a whole lot of time off of stream. So I need to remedy that sometime in the near future. Oh no, I have to do a Lalafell voice for female Lalafell. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Just the Fisher I was hoping to see. Uncanny timing, as always. The celebrity you've achieved has resulted in more obscure requests than I know what to do with. Your dune fishing escapades in particular have raised eyebrows. The truly eccentric requests I've seen fit to turn away, but who can say no to the Brugiere Consortium? I, for one, cannot. But perhaps you'll have something else to say when you speak with Sybil. She's waiting outside the guild. Hello. Ah, Aerietta, I take it. The legend said that you were svelte, but I failed to mention how voluptuous you are as well. Excuse me, ma'am. This is a professional setting. That is a lot to say in a professional setting. Anyways, I have no doubt that our time together will be advantageous to us both. To business, then. I want you to bring me rain collars from Gridania's jadeite flood. However, there is a catch to this catch. The rain collars spend most of their time lying dormant on the bed of the water, active only when the rains come. Keep an eye out to the skies. You'll need the fish to be aroused so that they'll bite at the bait. Stem borers are most effective, or so I am told. As to why we want them, well, the fish are prized by wealthy old dons for possessing certain properties, and it is the custom of the Brugiere Consortium to fulfill unconventional needs and desires. This just got saucy. Damn. 5 rain collars are all we require to satisfy these aristocratic needs. Sure. This is Claire. Just a tea sipping moment. Nikki is stretching over the top of my feet, which are underneath my heating pad. So she is distracting. She's also wiggling a lot, which means that the heating pad has done its automatic turn off. So I need to fix it. What a cat indeed. Okay, Costa del Sol. Yes, please. It's less expensive than the Aetheryte. Okay. Actually, I love you, Daffodil, but we have a Sparkle Bird. So while I'm running over to get to the warrior quest, I'm gonna have those ads run real quick, and I'll see you guys in a minute 30 seconds with more story. And yes, I will be waiting until ads are over to start reading, so see you in a minute and 30. Such a pretty burb. And there are a lot of other birds that are less pretty and more violent. Just what the heck is over here anyways? I've probably already gone up here like, what is this? But, you know. Ice Merle Gold member? What on earth is this? Why does Master Gajero... Well then, I don't know, but here's the dancing girls practicing. Interesting. And I don't know what you're waiting on, but I hope there's a side quest on that eventually. Gonna take another sip of water. Alright, and we should be back from ads. So let's talk to Curious Gorge. Hello again, my friend. It is quite obvious that you have been anything but idle in your training since the last we met. Your progress is heartening to look upon, truly, but it also serves to remind me that each hour I spend poring over ancient texts is an hour not spent honing my skills. I fear my worth on the battlefield is diminishing by the day. Yet I am certain that my studies of the Chronicles will yield something of use. In fact, just last night I discovered how the warriors of my tribe came to be shunned by the outside world. Upon witnessing my people's prowess with an axe, the armies of the city-states began to incorporate similar techniques into their own training regimens. These are the selfsame techniques that have been instructing you in Aerietta, ones which call upon the inner beast. The consequences, of course, were dire. Yes, their soldiers became nigh on unstoppable, but they also became wholly uncontrollable, and both friend and foe fell prey to the ensuing carnage. Of course, the heads of the city-states laid the blame of these atrocities solely at the feet of my kind, promptly banning the ancient art and imprisoning anyone suspected of teaching it, or so the chronicles say. What I find hard to grasp, though, is that never once during my training did my brother hint at this dark history, nor have I myself ever seen one of my tribe succumb to the rage that the chronicles describe. Could it be that the tales are mere falsehoods, stories concocted by some long-forgotten enemy who would poison our heritage and befoul our tribe's name? Who in their right mind would seek to sully something so pure, and why would my ancestors simply bow their heads and suffer such ignominy? That my people should be so weak, so utterly bereft of pride is inexplicable. I refuse to believe it. It matters not if these claims are groundless. If they prompted my tribe's art to fade into obscurity, then the damage has already been done. Well, I for one will not turn and I will not turn away from this injustice. If none of my people will give the lie to the stories that have so tarnished our reputation, it shall have to be me. But once again I lose myself in history and forget the present. If you recall, I spoke to you of my former comrade from the Company of Heroes and the great woolly beast we have been pursuing. The beast remains on the loose, and to toss a punch of salt on the wound, felt creatures that appear to be its minions have been wreaking havoc on the innocent residents of Wineport. Were you and I to succeed in quelling the threat, surely the people would see that warriors are no fearsome beasts, but valuable allies. Together, Aerietta, we will win back our proud name. Now, let us away to Wineport and meet with the captain of the militia. No worries, Seki. I hope that you are enjoying your fish that you are cooking. Fish is very good. Okay, so we have to talk to someone at Wineport. We also need to go to a place nearby Wineport in order to get our ninja quest. So we will be continuing that story over there. I don't know why I didn't... I'm just going to teleport to Wineport just so that we can have some continuity in the story before we move to the next job. That's a fun sight to see. My friends, Wineport is much obliged for your aid. The fiends come relentlessly, and what few able-bodied men we have find themselves hopelessly overmatched. Indeed, the western gates have been so besieged that they are currently left without any manned defense. Leave the defense to us, my good man. I will secure the western gate. Aerietta, you defend the town from the east. Together we will form a bulwark that not a single fiend can penetrate. Once the enemy has been driven back, we will return here to back up the captain. Got it, Aerietta? Oh, did I accidentally just start a solo duty? Or... yeah. No, we're good. Okay, I did not accidentally start a solo duty. So now we're gonna go get our ninja instructions. Okay. You have trained well since we last met, Aerietta. I heard not a cry from the door as you entered, nor a creak from the floorboards as you drew near. Hi, Sunberry! Welcome, Raiders! Oh my goodness! The berries are here to spread some sunshine. Welcome in! Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the raid. And thank you for the follow, Metro Station. Let me just switch back over to the just chatting screen real quick. Sunberry says, had a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV nerds in chat who know way more than me, so figured we'd come check out your jobby jobs. Well, thank you. I super appreciate it. Hello, my name is Aerietta. I predominantly play Final Fantasy XIV on Mondays and Fridays specifically. I am currently doing an all jobs, all quests challenge run where we have to do all the jobs at the same time and all the quests that come into our mini map as they become available to us. I also play different games on Wednesdays, such as Video Game Fables, Genshin Impact, and Potion Permit, Plants vs. Zombies, Stardew Valley. A few of them are on hold right now so that we can finish Video Game Fables, but yeah, just we have a lot of fun here. Hope you are having a good day. We beat Cult of the Lamb today. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I saw that you were going to play that today, and I was bummed that I was going to miss it, but that's so exciting that you got to beat it. Yeah, so many questy quests. Yeah, there are 4,000, more than 4,000 quests in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, which is the first expansion of the game. And there are also, I think, 3 patches between each expansion that are about 100 quests. Just a lot. I'm hyped for the content update coming, so I'm glad we were able to finish in time. I haven't heard about the content update. Cult of the Lamb is one of those that I haven't had the chance to play myself, but I always enjoy seeing other people. But I just want to say hello to everyone else who came in the raid real quick. Hello, the Nether Lad. And thank you again, Metro Station, for the follow. I appreciate it. And hello, Ray of Swords and Day Snake. Thank you so much for the follow, the Nether Lad. I appreciate it. Is it okay if I just call you Nether Lad? Or is it a title rather than a name? But yes, welcome on in. I appreciate it. I prefer Nether then. Nether, perfect. Well, it is great to meet you all. And I hope that you enjoyed your time with Sunberry. If you need to raid and fade, feel free to do so. I know that uh, it longer streams especially can be a lot of fun, but they can also be kind of draining and distracting. So make sure that you all get some water, get a good stretch in. If you haven't taken your meds, do so. Just make sure that you take good care of yourselves. I always pick the first readable word. You are the. This is Nakura Ray, also known as Neki, and he is very silly. Also, before I forget, if you are part of my community and you have not gone to check out Sunberry, I highly recommend you do so. I believe your pronouns are she, her, but please do correct me if I'm wrong. I have been to a few of Sunberry's streams and have had a good time all the time. She, they. Okay. I'm glad I asked. I need to go stretch my bones, but I love the term raid and fade. Had a great time today, but definitely need to recoup my bones. Absolutely. Please do take care, and thank you so much for trusting me with your community. I really appreciate it. But yes, I had seen Sunberry in Kate's streams, I want to say, Strawberry Short Kate, and then we had followed each other on Hive, I want to say, but I checked out their stream when they were playing Temtem at one point in time and a few other times. But yes, a good time to be had, much silliness. Sun and Temtem is a good combo. Yeah, I think Gender Meowster was on that day as well when I first saw your streams. But yes, a good time. It's so funny. I actually, directly above my monitor, I have a printed out version of the originally available type matchups for attacking and defending with a key at the bottom. It's so funny. I still need to get back into the game. It's a lot of fun, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, I'm gonna have to start entirely over to know what the heck is going on. You need that chart? Yeah. Glad to have interacted. You have a... what I have is a Twitch chat that is too small. So I'm gonna expand that real quick. You have nice vibes, so I figured the berries would be comfy. Well, again, I really appreciate you thinking of me and coming to hang out. Ginger Master and I do co-op Temtem to play through the story every other Tuesday. Okay. Well, I need to catch up on some VODs then, I'm guessing. It's a good chart. It's a good chart. I get bamboozled by my Pokemon knowledge. I also restarted when the full game came out. Yeah, I think that's what I might need to do because I started playing as soon as the early access became public, like that day. I remember having to restart the game 6 times because it kept crashing. They were not expecting that many people. Memories. But yeah, definitely make sure that you take care of yourself, stretch your bones, water your bones, medicate your bones, rest your bones. Have some healthy bones. I think I hopped into early access like a week or 2 in. It's so cool to see how far the game has come. Yeah, again, I'm It's one of those things in the backlog. Oh my gosh, my backlog is enormous. Embarrassingly so. I just beat the main story of Ooblets, so that was one of the first games that I've played off stream in a while. I keep trying to explain to chat my joy every time I see the crystal gates, and to know I'll actually get them back this time. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my goodness. It's literally been, oh god. Now I'm curious. Hang on. Temtem last played in 2021. In June of 2021. I played 29.3 hours of it. I need to play the Ooblets. The backlog never ends, but I heard it's fab. Oh my gosh. Knowing what I do know about you and your community, I think you would get a kick out of it. Especially if you like Temtem and Pokemon. I think you would get a kick out of it. I think it was the same for me when the GM and I picked it up again. Yeah, the backlog is huge. I actually have secrets that I am working on, which is why I'm currently taking every other Monday off of stream, because I am working on secret projects. My stream anniversary is coming up in April, so I'm going to have big fun announcements coming up for secret projects that are going to be directly addressing the backlog. I've enjoyed watching Let's Plays of it, so it wouldn't be spoiler free, but Ooblets is definitely a consideration whenever it goes up on sale. Absolutely. Yes, secrets. Secrets. But yeah, my backlog is enormous. But Ooblets is just, it's so cute. It's so much fun. And like, I know that other people are going to say this, because it's pretty much true whenever there is a character that is relatable because they have a certain type of characteristic, but what makes the difference is so whether or not it's an all the time thing or a sometimes thing. Like, so many of the characters in Ooblets read as neurodivergent, and like, it feels so comforting to go into a game where the characters just feel like my community. Like, I'm not saying that I can't have a community that isn't neurodivergent, but it definitely is something else when the people communicate like you. Yeah, just some dancy guys. Oh, I strongly feel the game was written by or for neurodivergent people. Exactly. It's so interesting because I am autistic and ADHD, and my cousin, who, well, one of my cousins, obviously, I have more than one cousin, but one of my cousins is autistic, as well as having an intellectual disability, and to have the characters very strongly be like relatable for the both of us, just sharing in that autistic relatability was really cool. Neki says normies, ew. No, Neki, we have to get along with them. Or at least we have to try. One day they will realize, they will all realize that we can coexist together. Sometimes it's hard to get to that point, but yeah, neurotypical people, we can speak to them, we can reach them, we can communicate with them on our terms. It's just a matter of coming together with a mutual understanding that you're trying to mutually understand each other. That's the key. Okay. Weird tangent is now off to one side. Let us see what else our ninja instructor has to tell us. You have trained well since last we met, Aerietta. I heard not a cry from the door as you entered, nor a creak from the floorboards as you drew near. This much is clear. Neither waterfalls nor men of wood will serve to hone your senses further. No, a shinobi of your abilities receives his tutelage in the field. Consider your first lesson in the art of assassination. Ooh, exciting. What a cute outing that we're about to have. Accountability. I'm actually going to get up and stretch my bones and snuggle my husband. Good luck on quest. Thank you, Sunberry. I hope that you get a good stretch in and so that it feels real good on your bones. I need not remind you who our target is. He is ever the elusive bird, and yet I have come across some information that I believe may avail us. Rumor has it that Captain Grimwill of the Bloody Executioners has narrowly evaded several attempts on his life in recent days. This is doubtless the work of Karasu and his men. None other are so bold or skilled to even consider such an attack. Nothing short of death will cause the shinobi to forsake his mission. Karasu will strike again. The only questions are where and when. Answer those questions and it will be us paying him a surprise visit next time. Fortunately, I know of a man who might be able to give us what we seek. Captain Grimwill has a trusted lieutenant by the name of Wolfston, a man who, if rumors are to be believed, is known to fancy a hot spring bath. I recall reading of a famous bath resort not far from here, but the name escapes me. Have you any idea where it might be? I'm going to say it's going to be Camp Bronze Lake. Why, yes, that does sound familiar. In Upper Lenosha, off to the east, was it? Let us make our way there at once. Hi, Kristen. Welcome in. I hope that you are having a lovely Friday. So, I don't know if shoutouts are back up yet, but if you have not gotten the chance to meet our lovely tentative tea lover, please go give her a follow. She plays Stardew Valley with her husband on Wednesdays and does variety games on the weekends, such as point-and-click puzzle games and just a variety of really cool indie games that have a lot of beautiful graphics and story. I've also seen you play Fall Guys before, which was delightful, just chaotic and fun. I hope that you are doing well. Welcome on in. Alright, so we now have our ninja quest. So what is next? So we've gotten Fisher, we've gotten Blacksmith Armor, and Culinarian. We've gotten Warrior and Scholar and Ninja. So let's head over to Gridania to pick up Summoner real quick, as well as a few other things. I clicked the wrong button. It's been a slow, restful day. I'm glad to hear it. My day has been pretty slow and fairly restful as well. I'm just being bombarded with cat attacks. She decided that the best thing to do was to give me a near heart attack by standing up on the counter with her little toes hanging over like a gargoyle at eye level as I was getting out of the shower. Like the little demon that she is. There's nothing scarier than when you are most vulnerable in your own home and opening the shower curtain to glowing yellow eyes. It was very upsetting. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start with we're gonna start. I can't use a bird. I always forget. I hate that the waterfall Apkalu Falls is so far away from all of the Aethernets. It's just incredibly rude that I'm not allowed to run my chocobo through these empty streets just because it's within city walls. Terrible. How dare. Okay. Aha, there's Yumitra. How fared you with your training, Aerietta? For my part, I had some success in uncovering the identity of our mystery attacker. Allow mounts in town. Yes, absolutely. Inconceivable. I got my words backwards, but it's fine. We'll just pretend like it didn't happen. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything. We're continuing on with our lives. But I first have an obligation. Aerietta cannot use words. That is not a thing she can do. She's forgotten how 29 times since making this command. We knew that our assailant was capable of summoning Ifrit Eggy, so I pursued the records of past expeditions for those who claimed to have triumphed against the Lord of the Inferno. Of these victorial... Aerietta cannot use words. That is not a thing she can do. She has forgotten how 30 times. Of these victorious primal hunters, there are 8 names listed as present whereabouts unknown. After eliminating unlikely candidates based on race and gender, I was left with but a single name, Tristan. Assuming the records are accurate, this hero was once registered as a soldier in the Immortal Flames. As to how the man came by his skills as a summoner, or why he sought to kill us, however, I remain woefully ignorant. Nevertheless, I have witnessed him use the art of summoning for casual brutality, and that I cannot countenance. This power should never be employed for the sake of tyranny or personal gain. It was meant to oppose such evils. Sweetheart, we're gonna have to have a talk about that. We're gonna have to have a talk about. We're gonna have a talk about that. I'm pretty sure it's after level 50 though. Anyways, it is our responsibility to bring this Tristan to justice. Should we stand idle, his reprehensible actions could very well stain the good name of future summoners who have yet to answer their calling. The art itself could be outlawed, the very mention of it taboo. I hate to inform you of such things, but technically it was never codified back into being lawful. Anyways, I'm gonna stop spoiling the story here. Summoner was my main job until I want to say Stormblood. Stormblood was because I started playing way after everything else. So Shadowbringers was already out and concluded, but I started playing and I was a summoner until, what is Stormblood? Level 70? Yeah, that's about right, I think. And then I switched to Dancer. Neki says, when I was small and the teacher would ask us to read out loud, they would ask me to put more emotions in my tone. So I just added random voice fluctuations. You read good, I say. I appreciate it, Neki. Yeah, I got the same thing. I got the same thing a lot. I was not very practiced in reading out loud, but my mom was, and I always wanted to be as good as her because her bedtime stories were incredible. So a lot of my vocal intonations are directly tied to how my mom would read me bedtime stories. Now, through my inquiries, I was able to determine that a war comrade from Tristan's days in the military resides in Little Alamigo. I ask that you pay a visit to this former soldier and learn what he knows of our callous villain. Excellent. Okay, so now we are going to grab our leatherworking job. Or would it be faster over to... We're going to start with botanist, then leatherworker, then carpenter. But since another ad is about to show up, I am going to... I went the wrong way. We're going to grab leatherworker first. It's fine. So I'm going to have that go while I navigate to wherever the hell I'm supposed to be. See you guys in a minute and a half. It's thinking about it. There it goes. Uh-oh. I partially minimized my window. That was a mistake. I don't know why I keep getting leatherworker, carpenter, and botanist confused. Like, I know and understand fully that they are separate things and how they are separate, and I don't, like, picture them as the same thing. But whenever I try to use words, it's just like, what? Absolute nonsense. Anyways, I'm going to take another sip of water. Nikki is being really cute right now, though. After terrorizing my feet, she has decided that the heating pad is too warm, so she is off to one side taking a nap. It's very cute. Am I wearing the best gear possible? Yes. All right, and we should be back. So I have run over to the Leatherworking Guild. I can wrap my brain around these things, and we're going to talk to Jiva. Ralger, take me, of all the times for this order to come in. Here, have a look, Aerietta. An order for a pair of boarskin Smitty's gloves, made by the guildmaster herself, using her famous Jiva patterns, to be delivered post-haste, no less. I'd bet a month's earnings that this oaf couldn't tell my handiwork from a Gubu's arse, but does that stop him from filing such a tactless order when I'm up to my very ears in work for the exhibition? Apparently not. Post-haste? I'd deliver a slap upside the head post-haste if it wouldn't have negative repercussions for guild business. Fortunately, my new assistant has arrived. Why, you, of course, Aerietta. I did mention that I'd be delegating work to you while I focus on the exhibition, did I not? What about the customer's conditions, you say? Bah! He'll get a pair of gloves by the famous Aerietta herself, and he'll like them just fine. Well, okay then. Neki says, thank you for using that button. It was painful that one time I had to carry a new person with level 1 accessories through Ultimate Weapon. No! Oh, it hurts. Yeah, that was like the first thing I learned, and I literally had tears in my eyes because my first MMO was World of Warcraft, and it did not have gear recommendations, and it was painful. Yeah, so the button that Neki is talking about is this, the recommended gear button. So as you can see, our current gear and the recommended gear are identical, and you can equip that. But yeah, so eesh. But like, also, I know that, I don't know when you started playing Neki, but later on, around the time that I started playing, the level 1 accessories that you got were switched out so that they were actually really good. Like, they got you to level 40 no problem. It was much later that they started... it was much earlier that you were not able to really use them because they were useless. but like your starting gear was pretty high quality. Before Heavensward came out, you are not old, Neki. I refuse to believe that. But yeah. Yeah, my partner actually started playing in 1.0 at the time of release. So if you are old, so is he. What job did I just get on? Botanist. Okay. Uh-oh. It's not on our mini-map, but it is there. He's museum-worthy ancient. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, he's kind of been an old man since the age of 4. Kind of in the same way that I have been an old person since the age of 4. Oh, good evening, Aerietta. Forgive me if I seem a bit pensive. If you must know, the thought that our harvests are contributing to the war effort has been weighing heavily on my heart. What I truly wish is to be an agent of peace, but what can a humble botanist do? In the meanwhile, another order has come in from Yanni, this time for zucchini, in large quantities. No, I am afraid our homegrown harvest simply will not suffice. Fortunately, they are said to grow wild in abundance in the Lenosha region. I would ask that you travel to eastern Lenosha and harvest 20 of the finest zucchini you can from the area south of Raincatcher Gully. When you are through, bring them here to me. But yeah, he was excited and looking forward to it. This was also around the time that he had just started college and was making friends in college and getting along with his roommates and making good friends. He actually did, and there it is, we're gonna pick that up too. He did a lot of the dungeons and duty finder in the game as a botanist because of the buffs that botanist would give to the rest of the party. That is how long he has been playing Final Fantasy XIV, which I find absolutely bizarre. Alright, hello. A fellow Green Thumb asked me to pick up 2 things in Gridania, sweet rose perfume and a good adventure. I have the perfume, though it took some doing. We botanists do tend to be miserly with our sweet roses. And as for the adventure, hello, lovely. Well, that completes this shopping list. Adventure, would you mind taking this perfume and yourself to Jules Laurent in Little Solace? Okay. So, as I have mentioned, we are doing an all jobs, all quests run of Final Fantasy XIV. So as soon as a quest appears in our minimap, we have to accept it. And that one was new. We had not previously seen it. Okay. So we now have a level 43 quest in our quest log that we will need to fulfill. We still can't do that one. That's a level 60 quest to unlock Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker? Gunbreaker. I sometimes confuse it for Machinist, and that is very wrong. They are very different things. One has a robot. Aerietta Bot is giving us a friendly reminder to take a sip of water because hydration is an important part of every adventure. Oh no, Timbermaster Beaton is staring at you quite intently. Also, they definitely knew what they were doing when they named him this, but it is what it is. Aerietta, you minx. If I didn't know better, I'd say Gerhard was smitten with you. He's given you another commission, this time for an oak composite bow. In case you were unaware, such a bow can only be wielded by a master archer, with years upon years of experience in the field. Don't you see? You are to craft a bow for Gerhard himself. You are to give this commission your undivided attention, Aerietta. While simply crafting an oak composite bow is no small feat, I will not permit you to present anything less than perfection. Have I made myself clear? Good. Now go. Okay, then. Cat is also looking at me intently. No, 'tis my fish. Do not let your cat have your fish, Neki. That is your fish. Alright, so Bard is nearby. Well, nearby, I say loosely. Ethernet. That's not right. Why did I come here? I didn't need to come here. I have a teleport button right there. Ridiculous. Truly astounding. If we had to travel to an aetheryte every time we needed to teleport, this game would be a considerable higher difficulty rating. And yes, I did mean considerably, not considerable. I can English. It is the language that I was taught from a child. I was also really adamant about grammar as a child because I was a teacher's pet, because that was the only way that I found that I could excel, because it certainly wasn't homework. 'Tis good to see you return, Aerietta, and more seasoned still for your time in the world. Call me a spoony bard, but as a man in the winter of his years, it gives me great joy to observe an adventure in the spring of hers. This is an odd time for recollection, but it was a spring day when a bard first came to my hometown. He played the most sorrowful chords, even as his words tantalized the ear like the breath of one's first love. Many a maiden's heart was stolen during his visit, and doubtless more besides. Aerietta, would you believe that common bards too were born of archers? This may seem far-fetched upon first hearing, but it isn't so far a stretch. Ask yourself this: what becomes of soldiers when conflict gives way to peacetime? Some have lives so that they may return to, aye, but most must needs take up a new trade to make ends meet. Well, it so happened that many who had once bent the bow took to strumming the harp. They wandered the realms singing passionately and earnestly of the war as seen through their own eyes, of sweet victories and bitter defeats, of sacrifice and cowardice. Their songs so captured the imagination of the people, nary a day passed that a bard was not called to perform, be it in a humble tavern or some great lord's hall. Alas, their popularity proved their downfall. Intoxicated by the attentions of the masses, the bards took to embellishing their songs in a bid to outdo one another, and over time each song was shorn of its severity, till the bard's repertoire contained none of the shred of truth. By now you will know that such songs have no purchase upon men's hearts. Certainly a bawdy tune may set off fits of laughter in a sailor, and a sorrowful ballad summon tears from the eyes of a soft-hearted maiden, yet these are but pale shadows of what songs can achieve. For a blessing, this decline did not escape the notice of the Mughals. As great patrons of the arts, they feared that the true power of song might be lost to mankind. So it was they that labored to gather and safeguard those crystals known as the souls of the bard, that they might be bestowed upon worthy men and women. Now, well as I know you relish listening to my sermons, I dare say it is past time we moved on to the practical side of the lesson. I know I have mentioned this previously, but tell me, are you perchance familiar with the ballad of the Vainglorious Fool? It's stuck. Nay? Oh, well, that won't do at all. We must remedy this post-haste. The song recounts the massacre of Griffin's Crossing, a battle that took place decades past, wherein countless Gridanian lives came to premature end. Ah, but do forgive me. I seem to have mistaken the proper order of things. Before I begin, I must be convinced that the point of the tale will not be lost upon you. Elsewise, I will have wasted my breath in the telling of it. Now, heed well these instructions. You must make your way to Welwick Wood, where resides a matted pair of aldgoats that have but recently lost a kid. The pair has been driven to grief, and only death will put an end to the uncontrolled rampages. Linger in their territory until you encounter the beasts, then fly your arrows of mercy. As you liberate them from their sorrow, you too shall, so too shall your soul resonate with the echoes of a poignant melody. He is long-winded. Thank you for the hydrate, Kristen. I will do that immediately. Definitely needed it after that. My goodness. He talks forever, but I guess he is a bard. That's kind of his job. And Nikki keeps, like, circling around my feet and changing where she wants to be. Oh, she's giving a blep. Such a cute little cat. Are you giving a blep? Yeah. Boop. She let me boop her nose while she is blepping. My heart is melting. Unfortunately, she also has a sixth sense about cameras. Otherwise, I would do my best to take a picture. However, I doubt that I'm going to be able to get to her before she stops blepping. Yeah. Failure. I failed to get a photo of her blepping, but I will post in the Discord a cute picture of her that I was able to get. So if you would like to join the Discord, a link is now in chat. Alright, so what other jobs do we have in this area? Right, in this zone we have White Mage, which I have been disparaging lately because I'm frustrated with White Mage. You miss having a cat sometimes? Yeah. Nikki is very cute and also very pointy. Both in personality and in claws. She does not have toe beams, she has razor beams. And she makes it very well known. You think White Mage is your favorite, Nikki? I do enjoy it, and I do appreciate that it is fairly simple at low level because it only has the 2 attack buttons. And I will be in so much trouble for saying that it lacks substance because it only has 2 attack buttons, but like that's part of the reason why I enjoy it, because I don't have to go so far out of my way. Not pre-level 50 though, no panic button. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like after you complete A Realm Reborn, once you start getting into the post-level 50 stuff, it gets more complicated. So I'm looking forward to finding those complications, but right now it's just been super easy. And that helps. But it also is rough because unlike Scholar, there's no fairy to help you with your healing. You have to do it on your own. But let's see what our dear Raya Osena has to say. Aerietta, I owe you an apology. When last we spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you, but I fear he intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense, that one. I can scarce believe we are kin. So intent is he to prove that you are unneeded that he has dashed out to the forest alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest all by himself. Needless to say, such a task is far beyond his powers. There is a part of me that would like nothing more than to see the foolish boy learn his lesson, and yet, as a sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him, Aerietta? Seed seer or no, he is in many ways still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe these days. I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps he might finally see how fatuous he has been. When I last spoke to him, he announced his intentions to begin his efforts in the bramble patch. With any luck, you may still find him there. Now please go in haste before some ill fate befalls him. Okay, he's gonna have to wait. I've got like 10 more job quests to pick up. He'll be on my list after that. I hope he makes it. Okay, let's do Dragoon. I know that that's in Kurthus, but Kurthus is still closer than Ul'dah. At least according to the cost of teleportation. Okay. So we have to go south. And we walk so much slower in Kurthus. I cannot wait to be done with this area so that we get the speed boost. For those unfamiliar, there is an increase in speed for your mount when you have cleared an area. And it's not just getting all the map pieces, it is clearing all the quests for that area that are part of the main scenario quest. So this is slow. Like, I could almost run as fast as this without the mount. All right. Oh no, we have multiple quests. What is this? I just came here to be a dragoon. Alberic, is this your doing? I just wanted to be a dragoon. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. Aye, you are slow, but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon, though I must confess that my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand, the mere thought that the eye would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... But I shall say no more, lest the flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. Yes, we didn't actually do anything, we just had story time and called it a day. I want actual training, please. You will recall how Haldrith heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into possession of the eye. I can spell. I can't spell. Aerietta cannot use words. That is not a thing she can do. She's forgotten how 31 times. Tell me, Aerietta, do you believe that these events truly transpired, or are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folks have seen dragons in the flesh beside Swiish guardians, and most would as soon dismiss them as a product of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I, with Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the great worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Now let us revisit the past once more, Aerietta. The time is 20 summers past, and the place is Dravania. After a century in slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the great worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painting the belly of the sky an angry red. The agonized screams of innocence fading into deathly silence. It is in my station as the Azure Dragoon, I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer or even... I'm gonna have another sip of water. Neki says, keeping an eye on the vengeful dragon. Surely nothing can go bad. Still can't read. Keeping the eye of a vengeful dragon. But that is more that we will be finding out in Heavensward, because that's when we go to Ishgard. Okay. But there was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wing, so too did I pursue him, a man possessed. The game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the Great Worm. The battle unfolded in a tiny settlement on the edge of Kurthis, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it shouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I wagered all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh insensate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Halone was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and I was Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I had failed to protect. That last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Estinian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estinian as mine own son, instructing him in the way of the dragoon when he was of an age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion but guilt, my guilt at having failed him. But alas, I have also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen. Aye, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime. Though we know little and less of the minds of dragons, it is conceivable that the disturbance surrounding the stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin have already stirred from their slumber serves as a fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it would seem you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrop, where the knight Histine awaits your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Aerietta. Yeesh, that's a lot of words. Okay. What is this? What do you want? Why are you here? There you are. You have made my mini-map. Force me into action. What could you possibly want? I have heard much of your doings, and I thank you the woman for this task. To the west is Zamel Darkhold. 'Twas meant to serve as the new keep of Lord Zamel, ever a friend of House Durandare. But before the masons and carpenters could complete their work within the caves, hordes of voidsent appeared and drove them out. In the years since, the creatures have consolidated their presence. As such, we officially petition your assistance in reclaiming the Darkhold. All arrangements have been made. You need only give your assent. Speak with Sir Ophelia at the ingress if you are with us, and she will tell you what you need to know. Woo, dungeon! Absolutely, Neki. We will not be doing Zamel Darkhold today, but we will be doing it eventually. Okay, so what jobs have we yet to grab? Okay, we have done botanist, fisher, carpenter, blacksmith, armorer, leather worker, and culinarian. We have grabbed summoner, bard, ninja, dragoon, warrior, white mage, and scholar. So all the rest of the jobs are the Ul'dah ones. So we're going to start in Ul'dah and radiate outwards from there. We don't have a lot of time left, though, so we might be going long because I just want to grab all of the quests so that we can just focus on doing them next time. Look at the cute little pumpkins. That's adorable. You two match. I love that. Okay, so we are going to start with Alchemist because I feel like it. Alchemist Guild. Okay. And I am going to get this ad to start a little bit early so that it won't interrupt the storytelling. So I'll see you guys in a minute, 30 seconds. I want pizza. I'm getting hungry. I think I have one slice of pizza left. And then I need to figure out the rest of lunch. Okay, so I am going to double check my jobs list and check off the jobs that we have already gotten. Oh, did not mean to hit the microphone. Apologies. Alright, so we have grabbed botanist, leatherwork, carpenter, fisher, blacksmith, armor, culinarian. We have grabbed warrior, ninja, scholar, and we have grabbed white mage, bard, summoner, and dragoon. So yes, we have miner, goldsmith, weaver, and alchemist in Ul'dah. I believe paladin, monk, and black mage are all within the walls of Ul'dah, which is surprising for jobs, for the combat jobs. But look at all these quests! We have 17 out of 30. That before our quest log is full. I'm not saying we need 30 quests, I'm saying that we have that portion of it filled. Anyways, you understand my meaning, it's fine. Alright, and we should be back from ads, so now we're going to talk to Severin. Actually, looking at his name, I might have been pronouncing this wrong forever. It looks like it's closer to Severian? Who knows? It's fine. He doesn't care if I pronounce his name wrong. Oh no, he's knee-slapping with his evil laughter. Pardon, I have to get into character for this. Ooh, Where have you been, my tardy assistant? I feared I would have to begin applauding myself. Do you bring the wine to toast this momentous occasion? No? Well, no matter. Let us not waste time with such extraneous celebrations. The ecstatic rush of triumph within my breast has me sufficiently intoxicated, for I have at long last unlocked the secrets of the ultimate expression of alchemy. After countless hours of research and experiments too numerous to mention, I finally hold in my hand the exact recipe required to effect my heart's desire. Come, my astute apprentice. Together we shall swing wide the gates of alchemical history. You will aid me by concocting a share of the necessary ingredients. Your task entails the creation of 3 high potions of strength, and as you have most likely deduced, they shall be brews of extraordinary potency. While you are mixing those vials of vigor, I will be occupied with my own preparations. There is much work to be done for the both of us. Okay, Severian. This sounds fun, and like it's not going to backfire at all. Sure. Surely it will not. Isn't what's-his-name supposed to be around here? I thought he was. Maybe he's somewhere else. It's fine. We will instead go to the Miners Guild. Thank you. Wait. It says he's right there. No, that's Goldsmith's Guild. That's what I have wrong. I'm learning. Let's go to the Goldsmith's Guild then, since that's right where we need to go for Monk. Also, I dislike this man. Eric is a jerk. He's just a jerk. I hope he gets better later, but I don't think that any backstory given to him will ever fully make me get over how classist and ableist he is. It's just the academic classism is just it really frustrates me. Ah, dear Aerietta, so good of you to trouble yourself to come. Normally I might be cross, but my spirits are far too high just now, and it is you I have to thank. I speak of the data you procured. It is simply marvelous. You have a true gift for grunt work, my friend. I wish I had 100 more assistants just like you. I have been in this field a very long time, and I have been alone. Ever since that unfortunate mold tea fungus culture incident sparked my passion for research. I regret nothing, Aerietta. Save perhaps having to share so wondrous a world with souls as unlearned as yourself. See, this is why. Oh my god. Kristen, and nothing could go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. Absolutely. But yes, this guy is a jerk. Listen to him talk. His only regret is having to share so wondrous a world with souls as unlearned as yourself. What a jerk! Anyways, let's hear what else he has to say, even though I'd rather tune it all out. We are here for the story. Still, your performance has not left me completely bereft of joy. It is rewarding to think that my instruction has guided you to such success. There, how was that? Shall we dispense with any further pleasantries? Very good, then. I made yet another career-defining discovery while pondering which battleground to measure next. Eorzea is home to numerous locations where the aether is intensely chaotic, Aerietta cannot use words. That is not a thing she can do. She has forgotten how 32 times. I made yet another career-defining discovery while pondering such battleground to measure next. Eorzea is home to numerous locations where the aether is in an intensely chaotic state, yet which never played host to any war. My hypothesis was that such flux in the aether was indicative of a past battle, and all my research was predicated upon this. But turn the theory on its head, Aerietta, if your mind is able. Rude! What if the people of the past chose areas of roiling aether to hold their battles? I have already sent the other monk to take measurements at the fine sand banks. You may have noticed that I have been either replacing or omitting a lot of words while reading this because there's a lot of ableist language that is used. And I don't like it, so I'm not going to read it out loud. And I hope that you understand why. I want this place to be a place where people can get away from ableist language because it is hurtful and rude. And just, yeah, I'm trying to do better with my language. So that is why I will not use some of the words that are presented before me. I do make mistakes sometimes, but I hope that I am doing better. As you are doubtless unaware, this lies on the border between Alamigo and Gridania, and was the stage of the Autumn War. I ask that you find our monk friend and collect his aetherometer. Manual and tedious, yes, but he has an early make of the device that is unable to transmit data. I gather the man is in Little Alamigo in southern Thanalin by this time. This guy just pisses me off so much. Why do you have to be such a jerk? Why do you have to make rude intelligence-based slurs at every turn? You think I ask much of you? False. I ask more. Your other task is to travel to Snake Molt into the South Shroud and there take measurements with your own aetherometer. I will continue my research here in your absence. Mind you, if you care to know aught of at all of the Autumn War and the Fire Sand Banks upon which it was fought, I will gladly enlighten you. You need only ask. I will not be asking. You upset me on a fundamental level. Okay. Hi, Serendipity. You are a breath of fresh air. Why do you let this man into your workshop? Good to see you again. You'll be pleased to know that Gigi is completely back to normal. Why, when Rorotan was here not too long ago, he only had to contend with Gigi's traditional repertoire of insults. You know what I mean, I'm sure. That Rorotan was a hopeless fool, that he was completely devoid of artistic sensibilities, that he smelt of Roland berries, that sort of thing. Oh, don't get me wrong, it was still terribly distressing, but at least there was no more talk of fires. Anyway, as for Rorotan, As for why Rorotan was here in the first place, he wished to commission you once more, this time for a horn staff. It goes without saying that he desires the staff to be of the highest quality. So please bear in mind before you present your work to me for inspection. Good luck! Okay, so we now have Monk, Alchemist, Goldsmith, so we just need to pick up 4 more job quests. At which point, even though we are already over time, we will be passing the love along to someone else. But that's 4 more of them. Okay, Weaver's Guild. Okay, Redolent Rose, what have you for us this time? Ah, Aerietta, good of you to come. We have an opportunity to help that fool of a miner Wawaruka, but it will require some discretion. The guild has received another commission from Kokomo, that is to say, from her father most likely. Now, while I obviously expect you to craft her high-quality garments that meet our exceptionally high standards, there is one more thing I would have you do. When you meet with Kokomo at the Gold Court, I would have you subtly direct the conversation to the topic of Wawaruka. Try and discern what she thinks of the man. Okay, so we will do that really quickly before moving on to pick up the next one, because we have to ask her what she wants us to make before we make it. There she is. Hello. I believe we've met once before. Aerietta, was it? Thank you for coming. I'm sure you must be terribly busy with your many commissions. Excuse me, did you say Wawaruka? He's one of your clients? What a coincidence. He visited the shop the other day. You should have seen Father's face when he chased him away. Thankfully, he didn't recognize him. Whatever possessed him to wear such a ridiculous outfit? It's a shame, really. It feels like he hasn't visited in forever. I would have liked to have spoken with him. Yes, the commission. I am in need of a pair of quality woolen tights. I should meet you at the guild for the fitting, correct? Until we meet again, then, Aerietta. Aw, she likes him. It's very cute. Okay, now minor. Uh-oh. I had my finger on the wrong buttons. That is Goldsmith. Is this minor? This is minor. Okay. And that person is in their underpants. Have you heard, Aerietta? The latest tally has you tied with Wide Gully as the guild's highest earner. You started as a novice with a rusty pickaxe. Now you're one of our stoutest pillars. You've truly come a long way, my friend. I find myself turning to you more often for difficult orders, the bulk of which have been coming from Deep Canyon. As you should well know from past expeditions, these tend to entail going to dangerous locations. I'm loath to put my people in harm's way, but the concern owns us, in truth if not in name. I'd be ill done to refuse their requests, no matter how onerous. But just this once, I've a mind to do just that. I can't in good conscience order you to a wild place like Kurthis merely for the sake of 20 pieces of jade. Aye, that's what Deep Canyon is requesting this time, and if I have to send somebody, you've rightly proven yourself the best candidate. But you should understand how risky the endeavor. Think long and hard before you do something we both regret. While you're mulling it over, though, I should let you know that Wide Gully wanted a word. You'll find him in his usual place. Okay. Hello, sir. I take it you've heard about the job, and I can tell from the look in your eyes that you're already on board with giving it a go. When you came back with the amethyst that last time, I came to realize something. A true miner must be prepared to risk life and limb for his prize. That's actually not part of the job description, but okay. Mining for jade ain't no less a place than the Haldrith's mark in Kurthus would be the perfect way to put my conviction to the proof. I challenge you to another contest. The first to find 20 pieces of jade and deliver them to Adalberta is the winner. The superior miner may, by all objective measures. Okay, sir. If it makes you feel better. Alright, so Paladin, and then Black Mage, and then we will have all of the job quests accepted and ready to pursue. So this one is going to be Chamber of Rule. I guessed correctly, because I certainly did not remember. Welcome, Paladin. You should know that word of your deeds has reached me. Few are those who follow the true Paladin path without misstep, but you are one of them. I am proud to call you sister. You have kept the faith, and in return I must have faith in you. It is time that you knew the truth, though it is hard to share, for it is a shame I would rather keep hidden from outsiders. Perhaps you remember when I told you of the traitor and the sword oath keeper that he stole. His name was Sulkazil, and he was my predecessor as captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite. Yes, he was the same man whom I had admired as a child, who inspired me to take up the sword and follow the way of the Paladin. He was the paragon of paladins, until, that is, he changed. Some years ago now, there was a struggle for influence between the Sultanate military and a faction within the syndicate known as the Monetarists. The latter emerged triumphant and the army's authority was diminished dramatically. Thank you, Kristen. I will stretch. Just get comfy in my chair and we stretch up. And we stretch left. And we stretch right. And we stretch back. And we stretch up again. And relax. Uh-oh. I accidentally clicked where I shouldn't have. That's fine. We'll just scroll up. Although Sulkazil was still captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, he knew his position was perilous, so he fled, taking Oathkeeper with him. In so doing, he went against the words that he had spoken on bended knee before his royal liege. Now it falls to me, as captain, to restore the honor and the name of the Sultan Sworn. If that means cutting down my former mentor and master, I would do it gladly, for his misdeeds cannot be forgiven. But his death will not lift the stain that mars our name. He must be put on trial in a public court, so that everyone knows his crimes. Then, and only then, can we begin to earn the people's trust again. He served over 30 years as captain of the Sultan's Sworn Elite, and he is a formidable foe. Few can match his skill with the sword. Even together, you and I will find him difficult to take him alive without mortal harm to one side or the other. So you must continue to hone your skills and prepare for the day when we will face him. To complete the next stage of your training, you must do this. Go to the Ugram River in eastern Thanalin and find the brazier we have placed there. By lighting it, you will draw the ire of the Lepidotes dwelling within the waters. Face the creatures in battle and master your new skills. The fight will not be easy, but if you take to heart what you have learned and let the crystal be your guide, you will triumph. Let your conscience be your guide. Yep. I did a Disney. For shame. Alright. Now we are going to grab Black Mage if we can remember where we put our black mage. There it is. Okay. Anilin. Okay, I'm not seeing it on the map. Where is it? Is it way out yonder? No, it's right there. Okay, so we will be able to easily access it from the Weaver's Guild. Alright, last one for the day. Aerietta, I see in your eyes the look of a woman prepared to take on the daunting responsibilities of the Black Mage. There are few who know of our existence, even amongst those versed in the ways of magic. You will not even find mention of us in all but the most esoteric of texts. Yet the secrets of our dark art lies encrypted here, within the forbidden library of this sacrarium. Master himself deciphered and read the text some 100 years past. It is said the first of our kind were the favored of Naldthal, and it was he who entrusted them with the duty of sealing the Void Gate. But as you know, the power of the black magic lies in its great potential for destruction. The slightest errancy in its use may give rise to the most tragic of disasters. Of the disappearance of the black mages from Eorzea, Master says only, we must not repeat the errors of the past. Aerietta, Master has made known to me what it is you must do next. Listen to his words now, with all your being. And here she goes, being possessed by her master, apparently. The land has drunk deep of the blood you spilled, and by this act 3 souls of 3 races to Thanalin have come. The fires of our order once burned black and full, yet long ago they were left to wane and very nearly die. These 3 souls are the keepers of the embers that remain, of all that we now are. In the hands of one who will usher our return, the gem of Shatoto, testimony of our creed, will shine with new light. And by that light, the 3 keepers will be made your allies. An Amalja by the name of Kazag Cha awaits at Burgundy Falls in the east of Thanalin. Go to him. That is all. Dwell not on the fact that the Amalja are sworn enemies of Vilda. It is not your place to question Master's will, for it is the will of Naldthal himself. Go forth, Black Mage, and see the Void Gate sealed. Neki says I actually have an alt on Crystal. Let me just become a bunny. I love bunnies. Yeah, how about we meet up at the Aetheryte Plaza? And I'm going to shuffle myself over to this corner and change into a job that actually has gear that I like looking at. Dragoon? Yeah, Dragoon still looks good. Perfect. Alright, so while we wait for Neki to come say hi, I am going to see who we can raid today. I know how to click buttons. That's a thing I know how to do. A variety of people are on today. I think I found someone that we can raid after this. I have to run, but thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here, Kristen. I appreciate it so very much. Okay, let me just mute this tab so I have this person open. And I'm going to take another sip of water for myself. And by sip, I mean I'm pretty much out of water. So perfect timing. So let's see. We have all of the job quests for all 20 of our jobs, as well as picking up Fort of Fear. And we had Leaves of Whitebrim, so the other is Adventure for Hire. So we have quite a number. But yeah, so let's see. I'm going to check my calendar real quick. I think that Monday is the day that I am taking off to work on stuff. Yes, on Monday I will be doing secret projects, but I will be back on Wednesday to play Genshin Impact. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Sunberry, for the raid. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put socials in the chat right now. You can follow my Beacons directory link in chat if you would like to see my Twitter, my Instagram. The community Discord link is there. I am still having to manually bring people in, so it might take a few minutes after stream for me to get all of those in if you would like to join. We also have VODs and clips on YouTube, as well as Ko-fi and Throne. Let's see. Is there anything else? Yes. So, Neki, I will still be here, but I also need to make sure that I have time to grab some food. Alright, so here is a raid message. And if you are subscribed to the channel, here is a subscriber raid message. Of course. Thank you for being here, Neki. I appreciate it. Control copy, control paste. And next time I'll be able to find you easier because I can friend request you. Wahaha. But yeah, I think that for today, we are going to continue the hype for Cult of the Lamb that Sunberry brought in and go visit General Pedro Art. Pedro is a freelance digital artist and he streams. I don't know his exact schedule, but I haven't had a chance to rate him yet. But yeah, he's just a lot of fun energy and a delightful place to go. I found him through Fierce Axolotl. But yeah, that's where we're gonna head today. So thank you all again for being here. I'm gonna get that raid started. Raid channel. Yeah. General Pedro. There. Okay. So again, thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Sunberry, for the raid. Yes, thank you. And I'm glad you're back for raid o'clock as well. So we're actually going to another streamer doing Cult of the Lamb. But yes, thank you so much for bringing your community here. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Metro Station, and to Nether for the follows. I really appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to get that started. So feel free to copy the raid message appropriate to you, and I hope to see you over there. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back on Wednesday with Genshin Impact. Bye, everybody.